Hello, Uniherd. I guess that we should talk about it. Right. You're probably wondering, Ames, what is this pastel blue / silver gone wrong fluffy badger residing on the top of your head? This is the embodiment of my existential crisis. I've done some thinking and I have this whole thing going on, you know, where I have issues and you all know that. But what's happening is that throughout those issues, throughout having them, throughout trying to cope with them, I am somewhat attempting to be wholesome and nice and positive and kind. Don't get me wrong, generally I am a pretty nice and positive and kind person and I want good things for the world, and I think that everybody should do their part to make the world a better place and that you should not be an asshole to people. I mean, inherently my nature is not evil. Ideally, I think that should be what happens in the universe, is cuddly, fluffy goodness, rainbows, kittens, soft, pink, fluffy pillows. I've come to the conclusion that I have completely and utterly lost who I am as a person. I'm not living up to the character that I've always had, and that character is excessively cynical and very extremely self-deprecating. I've always been a little self-deprecating, but it was always kind of jokingly and always really kind of, nah, I'm not serious, let's all stay positive, yay, good in the world, woo. And I just kind, you know, it's not that if I'm like, yay positivity, that I don't mean that I think positivity is a bad thing, but at the same time it rids me of my only coping mechanism. I can be extremely cynical, always have been extremely cynical. I feel like a lost cause. I feel like I can't do anything anyway, so you know, why should I even try to kind of believe in myself, because evidently that's not working. It's not causing me to try harder. It's not causing me to put my mind to things and finish stuff and try and be proud of it. That's not what that's doing, because it gives me more anxiety and more fear that what I do won't be good. So why can't I just be the self-deprecating mess that I know that I am deep inside? Why can't I just be the excessively cynical black pile of goop that I know is residing deep inside of me and just don't give a shit? Because I tend to tell people that I don't care what other people say about me or whatnot, but in the long run you sort of want to mean something in the world, you know, you want to leave something behind, and it's not really about what people say in the moment, it's just more like the existential fear that after everything is done and you're just kind of lying on your deathbed, that you have to realize that you've done literally zero anything to ever be remembered for or that was ever useful to anybody. And the point is not that people, I mean, because people are going to tell me like, oh no, you've meant so much in my life, you changed so much for the better, I've learned so many things from you. I know that already, people are telling me that, for which thank you, but in the big scheme of things, I mean, it's not like it means nothing, but it just, it doesn't fix this all-consuming feeling that it's all just useless. I have confessions to make. Inside, I don't want to seem like this person who thinks that she deserves a lot of extra things. I don't want to seem like a person who thinks that she's better than everyone else. I don't want to seem like someone who's like, yes, I am a lot less normal. I am out of the norm. Therefore I am special, therefore you should see me, therefore you should notice me. I don't consciously want to be that person. I don't think it's a very nice way of being. But simultaneously, you know, I can't help that I feel like I'm not just a grey little mouse skedaddling, you know, along life like everybody else is. I'm not that. And admittedly, I like being in the center of attention. It's anxiety inducing and it gives me stress, but I like it. But the thing is, it's kind of like I am working against myself so hard. I am literally denying everything that I am. I am literally loathing everything that I am. Let's be completely and entirely frank here. Yes, I feel better than a lot of people. Not as in that I'm necessarily, I mean in the long run, not that I'm worth more and whatnot necessarily, but yeah, I mean, I do think that I am more interesting than some people who are just kind of wallflowers and afraid to go out and do anything and whatnot. And that's just, I mean, I have a very difficult time saying that because it feels like I'm shitting on people and it feels like I'm feeling superior. And I don't want to be that person who's like, you know, I'm a lot more fun to watch and I'm a lot more fun to be around than you. But simultaneously, there's like I literally don't know how to explain this without seeming like a superficial bitch. And maybe that's not... Is that bad? Is that really so bad? Maybe I am. Maybe I am a little bit of a superficial bitch. Who knows? Should I be sorry? Should I be sorry that I feel like I can do so much more? And that I feel like I can be so much more? And that I feel like... I mean, I've been putting a lot of myself aside for various reasons, but a big part of it is that I don't want to seem like a shitty person. There are a lot of jokes I don't make. There are a lot of things I don't say. Because it might make me look like a shitty person. Because it might make me look selfish. Because it might make me look like I'm feeling better than someone else. Because it might make me look egotistical, which is probably kind of the same as selfish. But, you know, I just needed another word to put in there because only two things is not enough. But yeah, I'm just very afraid of seeming like I'm not a super respectful, very altruistic, understanding person. I am that. I absolutely am that. But I'm also rude and I'm also loud and I'm also the center of attention and I'm also the person who's kind of like, hey, bitches, here I am, look at me. This entire act of humbleness, I don't know, man, it's not for me. And don't get me wrong, I will never be in this position where I say that I ever become world famous. I will never be in this position that I will feel like, you know what, I'm world famous and I am the only one who deserves this and nobody else deserves this and I'm just gonna sit here on my high horse and not do anything for like the smaller people and not give a shit about the community and just like sip champagne on my yacht. I will never be that person. Never ever will I be that person. But I'd be very much lying if I said that I didn't want the fame and that I didn't want the spotlight and that I didn't want the attention and that I didn't feel like I am the kind of person who could potentially grow into someone who deserves that attention and who is out there and open and wonky enough to get that attention. So, you know, here I am admitting to, I don't know, is it a slight superiority complex? I have no idea what that is, but aside from all that, I feel like I'm being very confusing, but hence the hair, which is step number one in not giving a shit, because I've always wanted super light hair, and I know that it's very out there because I'm like a very dark type of person-ish. I have dark brown eyes and I have very heavy black eyebrows and my natural hair color is dark brown and I have black hair everywhere, even on my chest. But so I don't know. The first step was like, you know what, fuck this shit, I'm going to cut my hair short. And I've done that before, but this is absolutely the shortest that it's ever been. And then I was like, you know what, it's short, most of it is brown and bleachable, because before, whenever I tried to kind of bleach it, it was always red, so it never turned out like this sort of silvery, very lightish something. So I was like, you know what, heck, just go. This is probably the most out there hair I've had, and it's fine. I love it. I love it to pieces. Really, really, really do. I don't know where I was going. Yeah, and you know what? I guess the thing that I'm trying to say, there are a lot of, I mean, I've done so much thinking over the past couple of days about how I'm forever 21 or would like to be forever 21 and how I missed out on a lot of nerd culture, sadly, and how I was like a lot less of a brat than maybe I would have liked to be. I did a lot less stupid things, a lot less wrong things than I would have liked. Now, when I look back on my life, I sort of wish that I could turn back time and be a lot more of a rebel, you know? Just be a lot more of a bitchy, no, I won't be doing what you're saying rebel. That I feel like I should have gotten into a lot more trouble. I should have made a mess of a lot more things. I would have had a lot better stories. I would have known a lot better what I wanted out of life, why I wanted it, how I was going to achieve it. I probably would have come across a lot more hardship and weird situations and things that aren't very rosy and peachy, but I probably also would have come across a lot more opportunities, and life would have been a lot more of an amazing roller coaster. And I think that what I'm trying to say is that I'm nearly 30 and I feel, however much more normal people in my environment are like, yeah, you're the weird one out of the bunch, I feel like my life is boring. I feel like I haven't done shit. I feel like I've missed out on a lot of excitement and cool stories because I was too afraid and because I was too normal. And people often don't understand when I say that. When I say that I feel like I'm or have been too normal, because they're like, no, I mean, you were always really stubborn and you did the weird shit and you were the weird person and you were the strange kid and you were just, you did the stuff that everybody knew was not going to be a good idea and then fucked it up. And I mean, that was kind of you. And yeah, you know what, I'm here now and I'm saying that it wasn't enough. Wasn't enough. That was the entire problem. The entire problem with my existence and with me growing up is not that I did too many weird things, it's that I did not enough weird things. And that with a full-fledged weirdness in my head, I mean, all the things that could have been 90% of the cray that was in my brain box, I never came out. It never showed. I never explored all the wonky ideas I had. And I am sad because of it now. I am extremely sad that I didn't, because I was told, I mean, I learned that I was weird and I learned that, oh gee, no, maybe you shouldn't be doing that because who knows what kind of bad stuff could happen. And it was sort of throughout my life, I feel like I've been made afraid by the world. Like I've been made afraid by people who were more normal. They saw that I wasn't and they made me fear what could happen if I was myself. So it became that I was a little tiny little bit myself, which caused the normal people to be like, gee, no, don't. And then the vast majority of it I held back, which is why now I am just repressed. So extremely repressed, which is causing me to be anxious and sad and not knowing what I'm doing with my life and unhappy. So that happened. I want to embrace the weird. I also want to embrace the cynicism. I want to be a little more selfish. I care, don't get me wrong. I care a lot and I'm all about helping people and being good to each other. But simultaneously, I feel like the world could just do with a little bit more dark humor. Dark humor and just shitting on yourself and just not taking things so seriously sometimes and just being cynical. I think it's a beautiful thing. I have a blackness inside of me. I have a darkness inside of me. I have psycho thoughts a lot of the time. Like, not that I would ever murder a bird and film it and have a satanic ritual about it, but you know, somewhere in the back of my mind, I'm like, that would be a cool aesthetic. That's a lot more who I am than the wholesome unicorn thing. You know, and I feel like it has come through here and there, but this channel is just, it's far too fluffy. This channel has turned into a far too huge attempt at niceness and world peace. I don't know. In short, I think I'm trying to say that I want to be a lot darker and a lot more rude, because that's just my personality. I'm a rude person. Deep inside, I am nice and kind and wonderful. But my self-expression is just crude in nature. It's full of curse words, it's rude, it's sexual, I mean, that's a thing. That's a thing. It's a thing that I haven't been enough on camera. It's a thing that I've missed. It's a thing that I've loathed myself for being. It's a thing that I tried to hide because I felt like it was wrong and it was bad and I had to be a better person, and that the shitty things that happened to me in my life and that the shitty way that I felt about life and myself were just all my own fault, and I should just try to be more positive. And instead, maybe I should just embrace the shittiness. Embrace the shittiness of what other people thought I was. Embrace the black and the darkness, and embrace the cynicism, and embrace the rude and the they're coming across as if I think I'm like on top of the world and better than everybody else. While really, I mean, it's a very weird thing to, on the one hand, feel like, yes, I'm the type of person who could do with an audience, which I do feel. And on the other hand, think like, yeah, you know, I'm a really lame, kind of cringy bitch who has no idea what the fuck she's doing with her life, and the only reason that you're here is to make fun of me. And I guess that's okay, you know, just... Can you share your thoughts about this with me? Because I'm kind of confused. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hopefully still kind of liking me, even though I just said that I have a mild superiority complex going on. Anyway, if you want to be part of the newfound cynicism, there's a button right here that you can click to do that, and then over there is the last video that I made, and underneath that is something that YouTube thinks you will like. So stay tuned for more unicorn shenanigans. Unicorn, I love you, and stay magical. And a little bit cynical, apparently. So hey, yo, bye.